Daniel Lewa, these new Lego One Piece sets look so good that I'm already dying for more, and they haven't even come out yet.
We know that season 2 of the Netflix adaptation of One Piece is coming out in the next year or so, and Lego is most likely going to do sets based on the season. Methuselah and I are going to break down the sets that we think we're going to see from season 2 of the Netflix show of One Piece based on what we know of the anime so far. Full spoilers for One Piece anime, manga up through Alabasta season.
All the knowledge we have is the anime, the manga, and the live action cast announcements. So we're going to go based off that and what could make a good Lego set. Let's start with number 1. Smoker, Logtown, Billower Bike. He has a trike that kind of incorporates his smoke fruit powers, which is pretty dope. More so, Daniel Lewa, what would we like to see?
Man, wouldn't it be so awesome to have a marine ship? It's such a key component of the One Piece show, like to be able to battle the Going Merry with marine ships. 1, 2, it's something that could be like army buildable even.
It's essential. We need at least a marine ship. So if it's like titled Smoker Ship even, and it came with his Billower Bike or something, that would be a cool way to do it. And get the Smoker minifigure, one of the One Piece characters with the most aura. And it'll be a good chance to get Tashigi, right?
I really don't think Lego is going to want to do Smoker minifigure. I think they'll be very reticent to do so, which is unfortunate because he's such an awesome character in the story. Maybe there's some way they can just like omit the cigars or something, but it's such a key component of his character.
Gosh, I didn't even think about that. It's just,
He's literally got like cigars wrapped around his whole body.
oh my gosh, Lego, who cares? It's just comical, it's funny, it's his gimmick. He's Smoker, come on. And of course, Alvida gets her slip fruit powers at this point in Logtown, so we could see her maybe part of a set, maybe return of Buggy and part of the set. Potential for a lot of cool figures related to Smoker, Logtown, etc. And we know these guys are in the cast, right? Tashigi was cast, Smoker was cast in the live action, and Alvida's coming back from the live action. So we know these could be potential live action minifigures. And then in chronological order, we're going up to Reverse Mountain. Please, can we get a Laboon Lego set? I was literally looking at the Laboon giant plushie today, Daniel Lewa. Like, it's already $140, but I want it so bad whenever it comes back in stock. I signed up for emails, but Laboon is such, and you don't even know yet, Daniel Lewa. I'm not going to spoil nothing past Alabasta, but there's more significance to Laboon than you would think.
I mean, already he's kind of made himself a very iconic presence just in that whole Reverse Mountain arc. I think it'd be awesome to see him. It'd be a very distinctive design. Poor guy with his like torn up flesh and everything, but the figures that we could see in a giant buildable whale would also be pretty epic. Like Crocus, the zany design, getting any sort of weird head mold piece for that feather cap. I don't know how they would do that, but that would be pretty peak.
And both of these characters, Crocus and Laboon, are more significant than we even know up till this point. So they'd be dope to have permanently in Lego form.
It'd be awesome to see Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday because they're the introduction to the Baroque Works team. And like during this arc is when we finally start to get to know the Baroque Works. Also, especially Mr. Nine has great minifig design. If you could kind of put these guys inside the whale to kind of replicate how Crocus is basically just living there, that would be pretty peak.
It's such a good mascot to One Piece. Very marketable. Please, I know probably the build experience wouldn't be that crazy. Just blue bricks, but it's just iconic. And then we're headed over to Little Garden, right?
Yeah, which would be really exciting to see both in a live action adaptation and in Lego form. I don't know exactly how they could adapt these. We've seen giant buildable figures done a bazillion different ways in this point, especially in Lego Marvel. Maybe these could be big buildable figures in the vein of like the Harry and Hermione that we've seen before, or like the buildable Ant-Man, or maybe just more like Galactus type figures. But no matter what way they do it, it would be pretty cool to have a giant buildable giant next to minifigures, especially to give that sense of scale.
Well, it'll be awesome to get Dory and Broggy because they're iconic to the entirety of the One Piece story. I don't know, because sometimes with the humanoid buildable figures, like the buildable Captain America, the human face, it's uncanny. So it might be tough to do real upscaled humanoid people. If they nailed it, it would be awesome. And we also get introduced to Mr. 3 and the Wax Fruit. Hilarious character. He has been cast. He's being played by
literally David Dastmalchian. It's like there couldn't be a more perfect casting. So we know there's gonna be a Lego minifigure of this. It's almost a guarantee, I feel like. You could literally have any number of wax constructs, whether it's his mech or the wax cake where all of these guys are getting trapped by wax. That is crazy.
Zoro's so funny during this. He's like, I want to look cool when I die. I need to strike a good pose. Yeah, this cake would be, it'll be interesting though to have a giant white wax cake on display as an AFOL, but if you're a One Piece fan, wouldn't be out of the picture. We're just Lego's gonna be like, hey, let's give Mr. 3 unique goggle mold, but no head mold.
I think what would be cooler than the giant wax cake would be the figures you could have in a set like this, like Mr. 5, iconic, Mr. 3, even more so. I don't know how they're gonna do so many. Like the further we get into One Piece, I don't know what Lego's gonna do with some of these pieces, but like Mr. Three's hair, Miss Golden Week and her paint, like we already have a lot of the pieces for that. And then Miss Valentine, all of these would be just incredible minifigures, I feel like.
Yep, and each of one of these four have been cast in the live action, so they all could be potential Lego minifigures at some point.
This would be the one that I would be the most excited for. Oh my goodness. Because once they make it out of Little Garden, they finally get to Drum Island. They go to this beautiful, majestic castle. And honestly, we've seen a lot of castles look like this lately. Neuschwanstein architecture set, the Disney World castle, Sleeping Beauty's castle. This would, I think, take the cake of all of them because a giant white frozen castle would go so hard.
Oh, not only One Piece fans would like this, but Castle fans would like this. It would go so hard as a Lego set. It could definitely have the potential to be the Baratier of season 2 wave. Think about who you can include, which is also sort of origin story similar to Sanji. Chopper. Duh. He's got to get his own unique mold, bro. If you're gonna give a new mold to anybody, you got to give it to Tony Chopper.
They're just gonna do like a cylinder piece and just print him on it.
You could actually include all the different forms of Chopper too with this human fruit. You could do big fig Chopper. You could do just regular deer looking Chopper. That would be dope if you could actually get the different versions. Maybe there's Lego pieces we already have that would fit some of these Chopper versions.
We also would get two amazing Doctor characters, Dr. Hiraluk, one of Chopper's original father figures and mentors, and Dr. Kureha. Both of these guys have impeccable designs. I don't know what corners Lego would cut in trying to bring these guys to life, but I hope they wouldn't cut any because like the Dr. Hiraluk hair hat combo would go crazy. And then Dr. Kureha with their like belly ring and everything printed on would just be so funny. And these characters are so key to Chopper's origin story that we'd be remiss if they weren't included.
These would all be amazing minifigures. Please. Oh my gosh. Chopper. I'm going to say it. Probably my number one favorite Straw Hat Pirate. He's so goaded. He's so freaking goaded.
Yeah, and you wouldn't necessarily get that just from looking at a picture of him, but yeah, watching it, yeah, I see what you mean. And not only could you have like these pro tags, but the antagonists are pretty zany too, with Wapple, Chess, and Kuro Marimo when they fight the Straw Hat crew at Drum Castle. Like these guys are just nuts. How would they do a Wapple fig? They're gonna do a Wapple big fig or something, maybe?
No, he probably still could be just a regular fig. I don't know. We'll have to see in the live action. Dalton, too. We could definitely get a Dalton minifig.
Yeah.
The potential is limitless. This has to be a set, though, because think you could have the doctors, you could have the antagonists. It would be perfect. Like it's a shoe in.
I don't know what else they could do for like a Chopper origin story set. Maybe the live action will inform this a little better and we'll have to revisit this when that time comes. But man, it's gotta be something castle related, I feel like. At least like an interior, you know.
Worst case scenario, they go the Obi-Wan slab route and just kind of do a slab of snow, including Chopper. But come on, if you're gonna do a Baratier big set, it's gotta be this one, or it's gotta be Rain Dinner's Casino, Mr. Sir Crocodile, Mr. Zero's Casino / office underneath. I don't know how they would do it, Daniel Lewa, if they would do just the casino with inside it had the office, or if it was like 2 floors and had the office actually below that had all the fish tanks around it. It's probably the main thing, though. It's probably one of the most significant thing from the Alabasta arc that could be a buildable Lego set.
I mean, I could see this in the scale of the Arlong Park Pagoda, for instance, and it wouldn't even need to be that crazy size, right? That'd be incredible, especially to have the actual office of Mr. Zero, including all of the zany characters from Baroque works. Oh my gosh. Like
And this would be a great opportunity to get Miss All Sunday, please.
Matt's favorite character in One Piece.
Least favorite character, One Piece. Sorry, I'm going to get a lot of hatred for that because I know they're Nico Robin fans, but she gets on my nerves a teensy bit. That's a different tangent for a different day.
There's no way we wouldn't get a crocodile minifigure. Would they include the cigar? Probably not.
Okay.
But everything else about him, I think they could capture pretty easily.
Yeah, would they give him his big hook hand or just maybe a regular Captain Hook hand? Will he get a special mold? I don't know. With some of the decision making on the first wave of One Piece sets, makes me a little bit nervous. Like Zoro still having a side part. Like Chef Zeph not having a chef hat, like things like that just make me a little sus, But yes, a chance to get the rest of Baroque Works cast. Mr. Two. Mr. Two's just goaded. You wouldn't think about it here. You really wouldn't think. But Mr. Two's actually goaded. Miss Merry Christmas, Mr. Four, their zany duo, and actually his cannon ate a devil fruit, I guess. I wonder if they could include that into Lego form. That would be funny. And then Mr. One and Miss Doublefinger, also potential minifigures. But we haven't heard these guys be cast though, Daniel Ewa, so maybe a no-no for these Baroque Works guys.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, they definitely cut stuff for the live action. So we may never see these in live action or Lego form, which is unfortunate.
But one more potential set we could see is
The Alabasta Castle itself. I don't. They might not have to do like the entire castle. You could just get like a portion of this, just like the top. But like this is a super significant location, and you could have so many awesome characters in this as well. Part of the royal family of Alabasta. We do have to temper our expectations because we don't know some of these castings. We don't know how they'll change things. And Lego, if they do make figures of these, they will likely cut a lot of corners. So it's awesome. Hopefully, we can get at least get some of these figures. If not, that's too bad.
we got it. I mean, if they do same amount of sets, 5 sets like this first wave, there's definitely potential. Even this the castle is like it's a facade, could be represented. Same with all of these, whether it's the rain dinners or the castle, that's going to be the quote unquote big set. If they're going to do another 18 plus set, there's so much potential. And there's so much potential for great figures. I feel like my hypothesis is going to be it's going to be similar to Wave One, where we get a lot of really dope stuff, a lot of dope sets and figures, but there are kind of a little bit of letdowns and nitpicks that we're going to have, unfortunately, due to them not wanting to go all out on every new mold and every new print in the galaxy.
But there's other things that maybe they could do that would be really cool. We haven't mentioned yet, like
I don't think he was even cast in the live action unless they're trying to do a secret. But in Alabasta is where we first meet Fire Fist Ace, Luffy's brother, and he does have his little striker ship that he pulls up on. That would be a perfect little Lego set, and his very fan favorite character. I would go crazy for this minifig. I'm sure all the fans will go crazy for this minifig.
and of course there are other things we didn't get into that they could do, like they could do a battle at Whiskey Peak type set, or a log town buildable buildings or something where Zoro gets his new swords and stuff like that. So lots of options, but these are the ones that we think are the most likely to get made based on what we know of the anime of this season.
We probably will do a follow up to this video of Alabasta on forward what we could see and do it kind of in chunks, of what Lego sets, because it's just fun to think about. And Lego One Piece, they need to continue. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, Daniel Lewa. If it really was just a issue with the Netflix rights and like Netflix having it now, that means when Netflix redoes the anime, they could make Lego sets, right? What would stop them back if that was the issue?
That would be awesome. I really hope so, because based on how popular already the pre-orders for some of the existing sets have been, this is going to be a cash cow for Lego for sure.
Two A-Falls nerding and geeking out.
Let us know what you think, what you would want to see. If you're a One Piece fan, what would you want to see from this kind of log town to Alabasta arc in the anime? What do you hope Lego would actually make? Shout out to all of you for watching, and especially our channel members for making this video possible, who are...
I'm Lidme, MC Go, Uncle Michael, Uncle Norman, Oliver J. the Ginger Lender, Shuey Lee, Grandma Susan, Norman Davis, Dr. Dan PhD, Sir Grizz, Richie Rage, Langster Builds, Joe Borges, Mary Kay, Cesar, Jay Jolly, and a brand new channel member, the Brick Patch. The Brick Patch has now become a channel member on the channel.
Wow.
Shout out to the Brick Patch. Oh my gosh, I showed Daniel Lewa that he's a channel member, and Daniel Lewa's head almost exploded.
No, it's super hype. Thank you, Brick Patch, for joining. Enjoy all of the member perks. And if any of you made it this far in the video, put Cloister in the comments below and you'll be known as a real one.
Subscribe if you like One Piece.